Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And a new month of course means a new Gunpla schedule. Meaning that on the 11th we'll be getting the high-grade Zaward for 1,760 yen, 14 US, alongside its trusty steed, the high-grade Tigbalon for 1,430 yen, 11 US. And if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be the first high-grade aircraft with wheels that actually fold out instead of parts forming. Then on the 18th, we'll be getting the high-grade Hindry for 1,760 yen as well, 14 US, with its very interesting looking shield and lance combo. And then finally on the 25th, there is the SDW Heroes Alternative Justice Infinite Dragon for 1,320 yen, 10 US. And in addition to its name being the inverse, it even looks like its color scheme has been inverted as well. And staying with the Gunpla news, yesterday the high-grade Deathscythe Hell was announced and immediately went up for pre-order. Of course, on P-Bandai. And for 2,420 yen, 19 US, it'll come with all of the goodies you'd expect, like a very articulated active cloak, of which all 6 pieces can move, the fancy new Buster Shield with effect parts, the Twin Beam Scythe, and a stored Twin Beam Scythe. The only thing I'm really wondering about though is how many stickers we're going to be needing, or even how much paint we're going to be needing to get this bad boy completely color accurate. Because not only is it a remold, it's a P-Bandai remold, so you'll have to forgive me for not having the highest expectations of it. And I also wonder, for that price, 2,420 yen, how much leftover parts we're going to be getting from the Live Heaven. And continuing with the Gunpla news, we got a second wave of pre-orders for the restock of the high-grade Messer F02, high-grade Messer F02 Commander version. Then there's a second wave of pre-orders for the high-grade Zaku High Mobility Type, Surface Type Egba Custom, Master-grade Gunner / and Blaze Wizard Combo Pack, Real-grade Destiny Impulse, and Master-grade Astray Outframe D. And on the figure front, the metal build Lightning Striker Alternative Strike version went up for pre-order on both the Tamashii Nations online store and of course P-Bandai. From Mercury then, we got some pretty surprising news because out of nowhere, Crunchyroll quietly dropped the English dub for the prologue. And not only that, but like yesterday, we also got the full cast for the main series. Suletta will be voiced by Jill Harris, who has also voiced Nino from the Quintessential Quintuplets. Miorine will be voiced by Natalie Van Sistine, who has voiced Yor from Spy Family. Prospera, or Lady Prospera, will be voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell, who has voiced Zephia from Fire Emblem Engaged. We have Bradley Gareth for Duel, Aaron Disbuke for Elan, Brittany Kerbowski for Choo Choo, Bryn April for Nika, Alejandro Sapp for Shadiq, Gabe Kunna for Delling, and then probably one of my favorites, for Vimjaturk, we have Christopher R. Sabat, who is of course famous for voicing Vegeta. Then we have Eric Vale for Nuno, Nazi Tarsha for Lauda, Sarah Ragsdale for Lalik, Kimberly Grace for Petra, Alexis Tipton for Felsi, Kristen Payne for Roji, Cassie Iwulu for... They wrote Cecilia. It should of course be Cecilia unless she's going to have a name change in the English dub. Mike Smith for Sarius, Ian Sinclair for Rajan, and Jerry Jewell for the Haro. So it seems like we'll be getting a pretty solid cast for the English dub for the series. Unfortunately, it seems like it is only going to be on Crunchyroll because I haven't seen the prologue pop up on any other services. And in the gaming news then, we also got some big news. The start of Gundam Evolution's third season, which is called Defensor. And they really picked the perfect mobile suit to start this season with. The Hyperion Gundam and its famous Armure Lumiere beam shield, inspired by the equally famous Umbrella of Artemis. This beam shield was nigh impenetrable as long as the Hyperion had the energy to run it, and this will be reflected in the game as well. The Hyperion promises to be a unit that specializes in maintaining the front line and controlling areas. And of course, alongside of it, we also get a lot of skins, like a golden trim in the Season Pass, an edgy red and black one in the store, a legendary black and golden one from supply pods, and, of course, a Unit 2 one. And coinciding with the Hyperion's name, they've also launched the Hyper Update, where in the next 3 months we'll be getting various events, campaigns, and also a new mobile suit every month, so definitely a lot of content to look forward to. Meanwhile, in Gundam Battle Operation 2, the GPO-1 Aqua jumped into the pool. In Gundam Breaker Mobile, we got the Lightning Striker, a Mega Madness ticket set that went up for sale, and the Dawn of Mass Production multi-mission event that went live again. And in UC Engage, we got an event gacha for Char Aznable and Zeong, another event gacha for Celine Rom and the Magna Mortel, which looks like it's just a color variant of the Q-Blade mass production type, a limited time clan battle, some bonus events, and a new story mission for Pesce Montagnou, as well as quests to get yourself a Rin and a Q-Blade mass production type Rin Custom. In other news then, the storage box and jacket illustrations have been unveiled for the 4th Reconguista in G movies Blu-ray and DVD set. The front and back covers of the setting books for the Gundam Seed 20th Anniversary collection have been unveiled. On February the 11th, there will be a live music and DJ party in Akihabara's Mogra. The event will feature a variety of Bandai Namco music, including Reconguista in G music, and will also be available for free on YouTube, linked down below. And then Bandai has opened the official North American Gundam.info Twitter account to improve their reach to overseas fans, and they're also celebrating the occasion by giving away 3 Perfect Grade Unleashed RX-78-2s. Links on how to get those down below. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 27th there was the SD Gundam World Heroes Blu-ray collection box for a whopping 55,000 yen, 423 US. But hey, the discs do have Haros printed on them, and they're all in different colors, so that at least adds some value. In addition to that, there's also a small novel, bonus booklet, and special card-ass cards. One day later then, we got another expensive thing, but something that I feel more people jumped on way faster. For 24,200 yen, 186 US, you could get the Chogokin Aerial. That not just comes with all of the accessories and gimmicks you'd expect, like the gun bits being able to separate and combine, some sweet beam effect parts, and a very nice action base, but it also comes with a really cool light-up head. Really, the only thing that could have made this figure even more amazing is if the gun arm system on the chest also lit up. That would have just been perfect. And then if you still had some money left over on that day, you could go to the Mibu Toy Museum, where they've started handing out a special card featuring the Gundam Manhole that they got a while back. On Monday then, we got something that I definitely had my eyes on, the 4th collection of G-Frame Full Armor. There is the God Gundam, the Ariel, the Jim Quell, and the Hyaku Shiki, each consisting of an armor and a frame set for 748 yen each, around 6 US, so 12 US for a full mobile suit. And the Jim Quell comes with an extra accessory in the frame set, a Hazel head, so you can turn it into the Hazel Reserve unit. So yeah, I'm probably gonna try to track down a couple of these sets at some point. One day later then, we got another very interesting thing, but this time because it's something that I had never heard about. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the convenience of Japanese combis, like once you've lived with them, you cannot live without them anymore, and maybe even their multi-purpose printers, because those things are so much more than just printers or copiers. And from Tuesday, you can print out official Witch from Mercury pictures at 7-Eleven printers, of course in Japan. There is one from each episode, and you can print them out in either large size for 200 yen, $1.50, or 2L for 300 yen, 2 US. And this service will be available until the 30th of September, so if you want these pictures, you'll still have plenty of time, and of course, there's no chance of them running out because they are literally just printed as you input the order. And if you want to read something, this week you could get the reprint of the famous Char's Counterattack Dojin, Yoshikazu Yasuhiko's My Back Pages Kukuru's the One's Island edition. The English version of Hobby Japan Mechanics featuring Char's Counterattack has appeared on Amazon US, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and the Netherlands. There was the 21st volume of Gundam Hobby Life, focusing on the machines from 00's first season, and the 10th chapter of Gundam Sequel is now available online, in Japanese, linked down below. On to this week's apparel news then, where Strict G kicked things off last week Friday with a Moonstar collaboration. 14,300 yen, 110 US, will get you a nice pair of sneakers in either Federation White, Red Comet Burgundy, or Zeon Forces Khaki, and as an added bonus, each pair comes with 2 colors of matching shoelaces. Meanwhile, Bankura then started with a bunch of bath towels that went up for pre-order on the same day. They go for 3,850 yen each, 30 US, and the available designs are the RX-78-2, Goof, Char Zaku, Dom, Regular Zaku, Zagok, Char Zagok, Unicorn in Unicorn mode, Unicorn in Red Destroy mode, and Unicorn in Green Destroy mode. And each design comes in either a vertical or a horizontal type. And you can use these bath towels after you felt sporty with the Char's Personal Mark Sport Series. There's a zip-up hoodie for 8,250 yen, 60 US, light long pants for 6,600 yen, 51 US, a sweatshirt for also 6,600 yen, sweatpants for another 6,600 yen, a t-shirt for 3,520 yen, 27 US, and a cap for 3,960 yen, 30 US. And finally on that day, pre-orders also opened for the Suletta and Miorine design items, so you too can celebrate the relationship of these two main characters. There's a t-shirt for 3,850 yen, 29 US, a mug for 2,530 yen, 20 US, and 2 acrylic stands for 1,870 yen, 14 US each. As always, these 2 acrylic stands are made to link together to form a cute ensemble, but in light of the last episode of the first season, the fact that their stand is broken up into pieces gives me a very different vibe from usual, and I actually kind of want to get them, have them apart with the enhanced aerial in the middle. And on Monday then, you could get more Witch from Mercury things. Or well, one more Witch from Mercury thing. For 1,320 yen, 10 US, you can get the Asticacia Holder Acrylic Logo Display X. Perfect to display with Suletta, the Ariel, or Duel, because on screen he was holder for 5 seconds. And all of these Bankura items so far are slated for a March release. And also on Monday, you could pre-order the Mobile Suit Gundam Big Cushion for 4,950 yen, 38 US, and this thing is about as literal as it gets. It is a big cushion with the words Mobile Suit Gundam printed on it. And it will be coming your way in April. One day later then, we got the Amuro Ray Personal Mark item collection, but instead of sports goods, we've got a mug for 2,530 yen, 20 US, a glass for 1,980 yen, 15 US, a bath towel for 5,500 yen, 42 US, a face towel for 2,970 yen, 23 US, a bath mat for 4,400 yen, 34 US, and a pouch for 1,650 yen, 13 US. Or you could spend 3,300 yen, 25 US, to get a black baseball cap with either the Unicorn, Banshee, or Phoenix's V-fin. Perfect for activating your inner destroy mode. And another day later then, we got a new lineup of Gundam full color zip-up hoodies and t-shirts. The hoodies go for 8,250 yen each, 63 US, and feature the Gundam, Sharzaku, Zeta Gundam, Hyakushiki, Qblade, the O, Gundam Mark II Ayuk version, Gundam Mark II Titans version, New Gundam, and Sazabi. And the t-shirts then go for 3,850 yen, 30 US, and have 3 flavors of Unicorn Gundam, the Banshee, Sinanju, Neo Zeon, Kshatriya, Delta Plus, and Rizel. And today then, you could either get a tapestry for 3,300 yen, around 25 US, or an acrylic keychain for 880 yen, around 6 US, with a variety of mobile suits from the original Gundam series, Zeta Gundam, Shark's Counterattack, Hathaway's Flash, Gundam Seed, or Gundam 00. And all of these aforementioned Bankore collections will also be coming your way in March. Next up then, more items went up for sale for the Shimane Susanoo Magic X Gundam collaboration. For 4,400 yen, which was around 30-ish US, there is a black or blue t-shirt with the entry grade Gundam, a black t-shirt with an illustrated Gundam, or a blue or black t-shirt with the T mascot, but Gundamified. Then there's 2 types of face towel for 2,900 yen each, around 20 US, a tote bag for 3,300 yen, around 25 US, 2 types of keychain for 900 yen each, around 7 US, and 2 types of stickers for 500 yen each, around 3 to 4 US. And I will have the link to buy all of these down below, but I do think you're going to be needing a proxy buying service to get them shipped outside of Japan. And finally then, it was unveiled what Gundam items would be sold at the Shinjuku Piccadilly Cinema for the Sunfest 2023 event on January 28th and the 29th. We've got the more normal things like a Gundam sticker book for 1,650 yen, around 12 US, a deluxe Hathaway's Flash or Kukuruzuan's Island pamphlet for 2,500 yen each, around 20 US, a 2023 The Origin calendar, which is a bit late to be selling a month after the year already began, but whatever. There was a Reconguista NG t-shirt for 3,000 yen, around 25 US, 7 types of Reconguista NG acrylic stands for 1,760 yen, around 13 US, and a Reconguista NG glass for another 1,760 yen, 13 US. But then the final items were 3 types of canned bread for 880 yen each, around 6 US. And while I'm sure that for a lot of people, canned bread sounds pretty crazy and not all that appetizing, to put it lightly, it's actually not that bad, but for all of the wrong reasons. Like, I once bought military-styled canned bread when I was living in Japan, but the canned bread wasn't exactly something I would describe as bread. It was more something in between bread and cake, because not only was it way sweeter than it should be, which is apparently something Japanese bread gets from American bread, but it also had blueberries in it. So while it was pretty good, I wouldn't describe it as bread. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting experience, and I'm fairly certain this Gundam canned bread is going to be something similar. Like, I would almost be certain it was the same bread that I ate, but now just with a Gundam sticker around it. And it has been a while, but this week we're again wrapping up with some polls. First up, we have the results of which was the Duel's most famous scene. And we've got some interesting results for poor Isaac. In last place with 7.2%, we have the Le Creuset team fighting and almost capturing the strike, which does deserve to be in last place in my opinion. Because even though it was Isaac who almost shot down the strike, it was more of a team effort, and even then, I would say that the star of that particular scene was Atheron, because he almost captured Kira. So, understandably, we jump up to 22.3% for third place, which was Isaac defeating the Raider Gundam, which I personally think is one of the cooler scenes, also because of the symbolism behind it, because Isaac had to borrow Diarca's weapon to take down the Raider, and as you can remember, at the time Isaac and Diarca's friendship was a bit rocky due to certain events. But then again, I guess you could say that the true star of the scene was friendship. In second place then, with 29.7%, we have Isaac getting his scar. And I've said it in previous polls, and I'll say it again, but it's always a little bit sad when one of the top picks of the most popular scene of a character or a mobile suit is of the thing in question losing, because that is how Isaac got his scar. Although I do understand why it is so popular, because of course Isaac's scar is a pretty defining feature. But the winning one was defeating the Forbidden Gundam with 40.9%. And there really is just no arguing with how well that scene was put together. It was a desperate fight, and then you had the Duel flying out of the explosion to deal the finishing blow with both of his beam sabers. As for the currently ongoing one, with Valentine's Day coming up, Gundam.info wants to know which Char's counterattack waifu we would want to get our Valentine's Day chocolates from. And both the Twitter and the website version of the poll seem to be in agreement who the best Char's counterattack waifu is. In last place, we have Keirasu, famous for piloting the Rigazi and being used as a bargaining chip. So unfortunately for her in this poll, she suffers from a very similar fate as in the anime. She's good, but just not good enough. And so in third place, we have everyone's favorite, Quest. Hathaway has entered the chat. In second place then, we have Nanai Miguel, a very respectable choice, but I'm gonna go with our number one spot so far, Chan Agi, who is definitely one of the more underrated Gundam girls out there. And if you want to vote too, I will have the links down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thanks to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.